Hello, welcome to our program, AGLC program, Live Coaching. Today we are live from Ratchet School and we have a special guest on the platform today. And this special guest is a student in one of our best classes, and I will not talk much about that, but she will introduce herself, and today she just has some questions she would like to ask about social life in school. And before we go to the questions, let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Onyan Kutnim. You can call me Mobile. Now I'm studying at Russian School M5/1.
Okay, great. Now she says she has some questions she would like to ask about social life in school. We all know that school sometimes can turn into a place that you don't want to be at. Because if the environment in your school is not friendly, is not loving, is not welcoming, you might not be willing to go to school. You wake up in the morning and you feel like somebody has a gun on your head and says, go to school. If you feel like that, it's simply because the environment in your school is not okay. It's not sound, it's not healthy. So we hope during the program of today, you will get an answer to some of the questions that you have regarding social life in school. Let's welcome the first question.
My first question is, how do you handle selfish people in school?
This is the question. How do we handle selfish people in schools? Wow. Those who are selfish are people who do not have understanding about life. If we understand that we are all together and that we are one, there will be no room for selfishness. Selfish people need love. They need compassion. They need forgiveness. And they need acceptance. So if somebody is selfish and you try to be selfish toward that person, you are just making things worse. And it will never work. Or if one of your classmates or your friends at school is selfish and you are trying to avoid him or her, you don't want to be friends, you don't want to talk to that person, or you think that student is a bad student, you are not helping that student. So what do you do with selfish students? Love them. Accept them as they are. Open your heart for them to feel at peace and to feel welcome when they are around you. When people feel like that, they open up. The reason why sometimes people are selfish is they feel like they are unique in the world and they don't have any friend. So they have to close themselves and they don't want to interact with anybody. So when you open yourself to them, love them, accept them as they are, you will see a change. Gradually, they will change and they will get better.
And my next question is, I'm a very sensitive person, and when I come to school every day, I have something that makes me sad. How do you cheer yourself up when you feel sad?
Actually, sadness is part of life. We have to understand that. We have to understand that it's not something weird or it's not something strange if you feel sad. But when you feel sad, what do? You have to quickly get back into the state of happiness. Now, what do you do to feel happy when you are sad? You just have to take your mind off what is making you feel sad. Because you cannot feel sad if your mind is not on something. Your mind might be on your relationship, on your grades, on your homework, or your mind might be on one of the teachers that you might not like. And anytime you think of that, you feel sad. But you will notice that the moment you take your mind off that thing, either homework, teacher, friend, or relationship, you feel happy. So to keep that feeling of happiness, you have to take your mind off whatever is making you feel sad. So you keep your mind on the things that make you feel good. If it's a subject that makes you feel good, let your mind be on that subject all the time. If it's a friend, let your mind be on that friend. And the moment you can do that, you will see that the time you spend on sadness will reduce. It will decrease. And gradually you feel happier and happier and you feel better. Yeah.
The last one is, when you're disappointed, how do you handle the feeling that?
Wow, when I'm disappointed. Actually, disappointment is, I will say this way. We call certain things in life the way we want to call them simply because of the understanding we have of that thing. Like if a friend does something to me and I'm not happy about that, yes, I might feel like disappointed. But if I do not see what my friend does to me that way, I might not call it disappointment. I might call it life lessons. So disappointment is, I will say, it depends on each individual, because the way you interact with people will be the cause of your disappointment. But anyway, if you have this disappointment issue, what you do is don't look at what happened as disappointment. Look at it as a lesson. Look at it as a lesson of life. Look at it as no one outside there, I mean your friends, your teachers, or don't look at anyone as I'm expecting this from you. The moment you think or you have the mind that says I'm expecting this from my friend, I'm expecting this from my teacher, you will always be disappointed. So don't expect anything from anybody. Don't expect even anything from the one you love. Because if you say, I love you and I'm expecting something back from you, you are going to be disappointed. Why? Because the person that you are looking up to is not going to give back to you what you want. So don't expect anything from anybody and you will not have any issue with disappointment. You will be like lights. You will be light and you can easily fly. It means you are not hooked or you are not holding on to anything. You are free and you can fly. You can do whatever you want to do without being disturbed by anybody. So don't expect anything from anybody. It's when we expect much from people that we feel disappointed, because I'm expecting from you this and that. You are not doing it. I'm disappointed. So when you don't expect anything from anybody, you are good and you don't have any issue.
Okay. Thank you very much, teacher.
You are welcome, and thank you very much, and thank you for being on the platform with us today. And we hope this has helped some of our students, and we hope that from this program you are learning something about social life in school. We know it's a challenge, but it's all up to us. When we choose to do what we know is good for us to do, you will do it, and no one can stop you. So just choose what you know is good for you to do, and you are good. You don't have to be held accountable to anybody. It's your choice, and life is a choice. You choose to live it the way you want to live it, and no one can force you or no one can tell you don't do it that way, because after all, your life is your life. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.